Oi to oi, and welcome back to Bigger Gaming. You ancient Spartan warriors, kings and queens of the world, you gladiators, and your all-round martial artists. Welcome to this week's video, where I'll be talking about the game UFC 4, or EA Sports UFC 4, based on a game about UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Is it any good? Probably not, but let's discuss, shall we? So in this video, I'll be giving more thoughts basically about the game UFC 4. You know, where it's strong, where it's not so strong, whether you should check it out if you're a fan of this UFC or Bellator or Cage Warriors or any of those fighting kind of organisations, and whether it captures the spirit and the feeling of an actual fight. So let's get going, shall we? So UFC 4 is a mixed martial arts fighting video game developed by EA Vancouver and published by EA Sports. Obviously a sequel to UFC 3, 2 and 1, and it was released in August 14th, 2020 for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Now, I'm going to try and keep a bit positive to this game, for this game and in this review, because there are some pluses to the game, also there are some negatives to the game. So the pluses is that it's quite in depth, the moveset, the skills, the wrestling, the striking, the kickboxing, the Muay Thai, all the way to the Jiu-Jitsu, and that kind of stuff. So it is quite in depth with the combinations you can land, the movement, the feel of it. It does feel quite impactful at times, and it is quite enjoyable. I mean, there's a lot of modes there as well, so definitely if you're a hardcore fan of UFC or MMA in general, this will probably keep you busy for a while, keep you entertained. Obviously the line mode, where you can face other players online, where they have their own kind of ultimate kind of team idea to it. Doesn't make sense, doesn't really work that well, but it's there if you enjoy it. And the career mode is fairly in depth in terms of having the tweeting, rivalries, a long lasting career, being a champ, all that kind of stuff like that. And it introduces voice acting as well from the coach side of things. Although apparently when your character speaks, no matter where you're from, you have an American accent. My character, as you can tell, is from England. You should have an English accent or a British accent. Yet when you hear it, it comes out awfully American, which kind of takes you out thinking, well, is my character American? Even though it says he's from London. I hope that's a little gripe I have there. And obviously in terms of, like I said, it's quite in depth the career mode with promotions and your sponsorships and working with fighters and having rivalries. If you spar with one guy, if I sparred with just my head, Israel Adesanya, and in the sparring sessions I knock him out, for example, in my character mode, and then we'll have a beef, which can make it quite interesting. So there are little things here and there where it does add a bit of spice to it, I suppose. But in terms of my compliments, that's about as far as it goes, because now I'm going to talk about the negatives, and there are quite a few. So get strapped in and let's go. So negatives are that being an EA Sports game, it is basically a copy and paste formula. Whereas in the old days, they'll try new things all the time. They'll try in-length stories that add a lot more gameplay modes, really make the effort to make it different. These days it's copy and paste with a few minor tweaks here and there, just to kind of make a casual gamer think, oh, they have changed a bit. But really it is the same. And in terms of the combat, although it is quite depth, combination input feels a bit sluggish. Transitions on the ground doesn't feel great, and obviously a simple kind of in-game mode where you have to kind of catch up with their marker, and vice versa if you're trying to escape some mission or get off the ground. It's literally when you're on the ground, just pressing left, right, up, down, just trying to get up. So it still feels quite stiff. Where the rest of the game, it's meant to be kind of realistic. Well, the fighting is fun. Where I don't see any refs. The music is very, very, very bland. They've gone really cheap in this one. It's all EA licensed tracks rather than actually having bands play or artists plays, which is very frustrating, given the fact the last time I had Bring the Horizon as my walkout theme. So yeah, like it's very much a copy and paste game, which is frustrating given the fact that it's the only fighting game out there, and they should really make the effort to bring new fans in. This is a premier sports in the mixed martial arts, according to most people, and it should have a game equal to boot, rather than one that's quite bland, repetitive, and although passable, gets boring after a while. So there you go, guys. I'd say if you want to try it, do try it, but it's cheap enough now where you can buy it. Otherwise, I think UFC 2 is on the PlayStation Plus store, get it there. I think you get it free. Try one out. Same game really. Even free even is probably the same game. So try one out, and I'll see you soon. Bye.